Have you ever wondered what your life would be like if you were your own best ally? If you didn't talk to yourself with judgment? If you stopped making so many demands on yourself? If you looked at yourself with the same tenderness with which you look at someone you love deeply? Today we're going to talk about something that can change everything: a solid self-esteem. Not the one that depends on achievements, appearance, or approval from others. And I promise you something, it can be built, and it's worth every step. So, what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is not simply liking yourself or feeling confident. It's the relationship you have with yourself. How do you talk to yourself? How do you treat yourself when you're wrong? What do you think you deserve? What boundaries do you set for yourself, or don't? A healthy self-esteem is like a well-built internal house, where you can rest, where there is order, and where you feel welcome. But many times that house has cracks. Where does this come from? Often from childhood, which is the first mirror of our values. Self-esteem does not come from nothing. It is built from the earliest years in the small daily gestures of those around us. When we are children, we do not yet have our own identity. We look at ourselves through the reflection in the eyes of our caregivers. If we are treated with love, respect, and validation, we learn that we are valuable for who we are. But if we receive constant criticism, emotional indifference, excessive demands, or conditional love, we begin to think, I'm not enough just the way I am. I have to behave perfectly to be loved. My worth depends on what I do, not who I am. These beliefs take up residence like invisible roots in our minds. Did you know that the subconscious records without filters? During the first years of life, our brain is in a highly suggestible state. We operate mostly from theta brain waves, the same ones we use when dreaming or meditating. That means that everything we see, hear, and feel we absorb as absolute truth without critical capacity. So, if a parent says to us, "You always do everything wrong. Why aren't you like your brother? You're a problem." Our subconscious doesn't question it. It just stores it as a truth about ourselves. And that hard drive is still playing, even decades later. And what about early youth, when the inner judgment begins? As early as adolescence, many childhood wounds are activated more strongly. Why? Because that's when social comparison, external pressure, and the search for identity begin. If we don't receive a solid foundation at home, we look outside for what we weren't given inside. Approval, validation, belonging, love. And if we don't get it, we blame ourselves, because for a young person's heart, it's easier to think, the problem is me, than to accept the painful idea that our adults may not have known how to love us well. This is how a fragile self-esteem is consolidated, based on appearances, achievements, or social acceptance. So are we doomed? Not at all. Recognizing these roots is not to look for culprits, but to regain power. Because what is not named dominates us. But what we understand, we can transform. Today, as adults, we can become the emotional father or mother we needed. We can speak to each other with tenderness, support each other in our downfalls, take care of our inner child, For even if that wound was opened in childhood, healing can begin today. With each act of self-love, we are rewriting history. Where does our self-esteem weaken? From a young age, we are absorbing messages. Don't be so emotional. You have to be the best. Don't do that. You'll get criticized. You won't be liked like that. And little by little, we stop being ourselves to be what we think others expect. And that's where the disconnection begins. The self-demanding, the constant comparison, the fear of disappointing. And that's when we become our own worst judge instead of our best ally. How does fragile self-esteem manifest itself? You find it hard to say no for fear of being pushed away. You need to prove that you are valuable all the time. You demand perfection from yourself, but never feel you are enough. You sabotage good relationships because you think you don't deserve them. You have a hard time looking at yourself in the mirror with compassion. Sound familiar? But you're not alone. It happens to many of us, but it can also be healed. So you want to know how to build healthy self-esteem. This is not a magical process. It is a daily act of presence and commitment to yourself. 1. Take care of your internal dialogue. The voice inside your head can be a prison or a medicine. Every time you speak to yourself with judgment, pause and ask yourself, would I speak this way to someone I love? Replace judgment with understanding. 2. Celebrate your achievements, even if they are small. Don't minimize your progress. Did you wake up today with courage? Did you set a limit? Were you brave? It counts. And celebrate it. 3. Learn to be alone without feeling lonely. Loneliness can be a teacher. Use that time to get to know yourself, reconnect with yourself, and do what you love. 4. Set boundaries, even with yourself. Not everything you think is true. Not everything you do takes care of you. Learn to tell yourself, this is not good for me, and I deserve better. 5. Surround yourself with people who lift you. You don't have to stay where you're not valued. The relationships you have say a lot about how you see yourself. I'll also share a powerful exercise. Take a piece of paper and write a letter, but this time addressed to yourself. Speak to yourself with love, as if you were that wise and tender friend you always wanted to have. Say what you most need to hear. I'm proud of you. You don't have to prove anything to be valuable. I love you, even if you're wrong. Read it whenever you need to. Make it your refuge. Why is it so important to do this work? Because your whole life is woven with the threads of how you see yourself. Your decisions, your relationships, your dreams. When your self-esteem flourishes, your life flourishes. Not because everything is perfect, but because you finally know that you are enough even when things are not. Today I want to leave you with this final message. The longest relationship you're ever going to have in your life is with you. Make it worth it. Make yourself a safe place. Make yourself your best home. If this video resonated with you, comment below. I'm ready to rebuild my relationship with myself. And if you know someone who needs to hear it, share it. Because healing is not selfishness, it's an intimate revolution that transforms everything around you. Subscribe for more soul-nourishing content. See you in the next video. And remember, your value is not in what you do. It's in who you are. And you, just as you are already worthy of love.